bulk of what a lot of the stuff we do, because a lot of the hardships, if that's what it is, or just budgeting stuff, will be centered kind of around the debts, because oftentimes those are going to be roadblocks for our members or for us to reach our goals that we have set. So there's generally like two schools of thought for how you can approach debt. You have your snowball method or your avalanche. And I think they're coincidentally just titled with snow themes there, but generally
because we're in Minnesota.
I know, because
probably.
we live where we live.
Though I don't have the evidence to say they were developed in Minnesota.
I don't
but
think they were,
anyway,
but that's okay.
Snowball would generally take, if you laid out all of your obligations, you would take your smallest balance, whatever that overall balance is on the loan, and you would aim to pay that off first. So when you're developing your budget and you say, hey, I have allocated this much money to pay towards my debts, you'll pay minimum essentially on all of your loans or all of your debts, with the exception of that specific loan, the lowest balance, and any extra funds that you have budgeted for debt payment would go towards that. And then when that payment is completely wiped off, that payment that you've been paying to it will then snowball to the next lowest balance. It's the most common one that I use for members. The avalanche method is similar kind of strategy, except rather than prioritizing your smallest balance, you're going to prioritize highest interest rate. Now, this is an okay strategy, but oftentimes for us, it's not something that's viable because usually we have a cash flow issue. And generally the avalanche method, it's for someone that's so focused on what they're paying in overall interest. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're paying less per month or anything, but you're trying to target the highest interest debt just to avoid the overall interest that you're paying. So both will work fine. You're paying off debt. You're generally going to be on a more aggressive path with both, but you'll have to kind of review budget and see what one makes the most sense for you. I think oftentimes with the credit cards and stuff, it is when we have so many different payments, it's easy to see a 24% interest rate and say, well, I got to get this paid off. But if that's the highest paid balance, when you look at your statement, you see how much of your payment's going towards interest. Unless you can chunk that pretty aggressively, you're going to still be paying on that for probably several years. So if cash flow is an issue, generally the snowball method is going to be the best route to go. But this would be, again, something that we would work with the member. What's your values? What's your goals? What are we trying to accomplish? What does our budget look like? I personally use a snowball.
Affinity Plus is federally insured by the NCUA.